Well, welcome again, everyone. It's Nick Michalak and Steve Frazier.
Hey, everybody.
Continuing the Nightmare on Elm Street commentary series with Dream Master, which is a whole lot of junk food.
Junk food's a great explanation for this.
It's very pretty, but it's not terribly good for you.
But it's fun.
It's fun. But let's get into it, guys. So this is audio commentary, no video. But if you want to sync this up with your own copy of the Dream Master, please hit the timestamp to 0 and press play right about now. Little delay there.
Hold on.
There we go. Go. A little lag on the Blu-ray player.
Oh, technology. Isn't
Wonderful.
it wonderful?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. So, where are we at here in the world? This is the summer of 88?
88.
I don't know. Do I have a release date on this thing?
Whatever the release date was of number 3, just subtract a few days from it from the next year.
August 19th, 1988.
We're starting out with Tuesday Night's song, Nightmare, which has some stories to her.
Is she not like the craziest woman?
She likes to pimp that track.
Well, it's probably the only thing that's ever made her money.
Probably.
Rennie Harlin.
Renny. He come off of a film called Prisoner that everyone kind of liked a lot, and he was very persistent about getting the job.
Was that a U.S. film? I don't think I saw it.
I don't know. He's Finnish.
Right, so I didn't know if that I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it myself. I think it probably was American production, probably his first one. But I watching Never Sleep Again. He was like, kept showing up at the New Line Cinema offices like every so often, just to pester Bob Shea about getting the job. I like Freddy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's kind of a sweet guy from all the interviews I see of him.
He's cool. I mean, he's a big foreigner, and I didn't mean like emphatic foreigner. He's large, a large
and
gentleman. Also a foreigner. And yeah, he's there's my buddy Ken Sagoes.
Yes.
A lot of returning characters in this one,
which is unusual.
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of return on our investment other than Langenkamp.
Yeah, Saxon.
Sure. This one's got all kinds of recurring. I mean, I guess they said, the iron's still hot.
Yeah.
we still have the sets. Yeah. We still got some people laying around. How about we shoot another movie?
Yeah. I was kind of thinking in the interim between the two commentaries here that they never brought back the Craig Watson's character. That was kind of
interestingly
intriguing. That kind of a main character they never decided to delve back into.
He went on to bigger and better things.
Possibly.
And didn't get the payday he wanted.
I mean, like I said, on the last one, he had done a Brian De Palma film before, so I mean, he was a solid actor to be.
Yeager returns.
And they had a whole bunch of makeup effects guys. They had Yeager, they had John Carl Buechler, who did
Friday
7.
7.
The same year. And they had K&B effects on this thing, so they were really just grabbing everyone they could just to get everything done on this rush schedule.
I want to draw a chalk Freddy on my... Like, it's so basic. Yeah. It's so good. And this, I think this might be the same set that they used from the previous...
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, considering they're shooting within a year of the last film, just keep the same standing sets on wherever soundstage they were using at the time.
One of the special effects guys on here, Screaming Mad George.
Oh, yeah, another guy. I mean, yeah, big effects team they had.
And I mean, talk about like crazy man. Like his name on the credits is Screaming Mad George.
Yes.
Like he's not just regular George.
Yes, he's just not mild George.
Oh dear. Oh, so this is Replacement Kristen.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that when a TV show or a movie just like recasts and says, "Oh, pretend that this is the character you know and love"?
Yeah, you can never quite get it to fit in your brain.
Executive producer Sarah Risher again, head of the studio almost.
Yeah. And it's never entirely clear why they had to recast the role.
Well, I think that she just got too big for her britches.
Possibly. I was looking at her filmography, and it's like she only did like 2 other pretty unnotable films in 1988, so I'm not entirely certain.
If I had to guess,
what Patricia Arquette was doing at the time, or she decided I don't want to do it, or there was some money issues or conflicts. Who knows?
Can we talk about Brian Helgeland for a minute?
Please.
We'll come back to Arquette.
Yes.
Brian Helgeland is credited with the story and a co-write on the screenplay for this film, which is a bit of a mess.
They were writing this thing as they were shooting it.
Right. Rachel Talalay bumped up to regular producer now. She's worked on all 4 at this point. So it is kind of a jumbled mess. Brian Helgeland is one of the people, and Brian Helgeland is one of the greatest screenwriters.
He's a fantastic screenwriter.
He's written 2 of probably my favorite films, L.A. Confidential, and the best film to never win Best Picture, Mystic River. Damn you, Lord of the Rings. That's a different argument for a different day.
His directorial debut, I believe, was Payback with the
Mel Gibson
vehicle.
Okay.
Where Mel got involved and kind of reworked the whole film. But
okay, so this is the caliber of person we're talking about now.
And he's good friends with Richard Donner, too. So, I mean, come on. I think you're working on like conspiracy theory and such. So
that's a great movie, too. So I imagine the guy who adapted Mystic River and L.A. Confidential sitting on his couch going, well, what can Freddy do? And I'm going, it does not compute.
Yeah, because again, it's the rush schedule. If they had like another 6 months,
right,
it'd be a lot more of an even field for them to work on.
So going back to the first film, here's Kincaid getting Kristen can pull people into the dream.
It's a nice effect there, flying across the room into nothingness.
He's so wonderful. Whoa. Good old Rodney Eastman.
Yeah.
And he's able to talk in this film.
Yeah.
He's been in the movie for all of 2 minutes, and he's already had more dialogue.
More dialogue than anyone. Yeah.
So, I would assume that Arquette, based on the success of 3 being one of the most, probably the most successful at the time, saying, oh, well, I need a bigger payday for this because...
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, if you're going to make her the lead, the sole...
Sure.
Not really the sole lead, because we know how things progress from there, but they're really kind of... Here's another recognizable star from the previous film, and makes it more bankable.
Sure. So, she says, I want X dollars.
Yeah.
And then, here's this broad Tuesday who says... I'll do it for basically nothing.
Yeah.
Well, sold.
Who am I? and again, you have to kind of think, I mean, you see her performance, and do you think Patricia Arquette would perform it the same way? I don't... Because it feels a little detached from how she was in the previous film.
Yeah, I feel like...
As the film went along, she got more confident. She got a stronger character. Now she seems very traumatized.
Timid,
very skittish and everything, so it doesn't quite feel the same.
It almost feels like they had her first, and they said, okay, now let's write a movie around this gal.
What her strengths are. They probably obviously auditions and everything, see, well, she can play this a little bit differently, so let's kind of write it a little bit different to go towards her strengths or something like that.
Right, if you plug and play Arquette into this cast, or this, screenplay, it's very weird. It doesn't compute.
Yeah. It feels like a regression of the character. Even from before she was in the first film.
Right, because even at the beginning of the first film, she
is aggressive.
She knew how to keep herself awake. She knew,
very smart, savvy type of character.
Right, she was vicious in the hospital. She was trying to stab Larry Fishburne with a knife.
Now she, like you said, she's very timid here and everything. So it's like, and even for Ken Sagoes and Rodney, they were saying on the interviews for this that it's hard to play a scene on the script that's a reunion between these characters when you're working with a actor you've never worked with before.
Right.
So it's very
the chemistry is gone.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. And then you got some more new characters here. Lisa Wilcox and I forget his name.
I don't remember his name either.
Yeah.
I don't even remember his character's name at this point. Is this Dan? No, Dan?
Rick. I think it's Rick.
Okay.
Rick. Yeah.
Well, generic 80s name.
Rick, right.
Insert... Nice plaid coat. I like it. Okay, so this is a 1980s school if there ever was one. That big, tall, blonde man that just walked past was similar in stature to Rennie Harlin. Okay. Love the hair.
Look at Brooke's hair. Doesn't get any bigger than that.
Wonderful. There's Dan.
Dan playing Denny.
Yeah, right. He's such an idiot that they couldn't even give him a different character name.
Yeah,
he wouldn't know how to
slap it into the script. Let's get on with it.
Oh.
One Major League Hung.
And I guess we have all the archetypes coming up here.
You got a jock. You got kind of a. I guess Rick's kind of the.
cool.
He's kind of cool, but a little off.
He's kind of the nerdy,
off-center type of guy.
Yeah, and we know everything we need to know about her just by looking at her.
Oh yeah, she's the star chick of the school.
Here's our nerd, actually.
Yeah, the real thing. Rick's a bit more the like the artistic type of guy, He's the karate guy. That's actually what.
Oh,
he is.
sure. In probably the most ridiculous scene in all of Freddy land.
But it's weird. You'd never see this collection of people being friends in high school.
No.
Everything's so segregated into little social cliques.
Right. This is
the
a
nerd
sitcom.
and the hot chick would never be together.
Right. And this is absolutely. It feels very sitcom-y. And how is there
there's the cockroach.
How is there a cockroach in her bag of whatever this is?
I
What is
don't
she eating? What is this?
Mm.
But you're right. There's definitely.
Oh, mullet alert.
Hey, don't knock a good mullet. I love the 80s.
Hello.
Reunion. Oh, what I was going to say is, it's interesting that even though she did have a dream to begin the film, there's no Freddy yet.
No.
Freddy's top billing. He's, first and foremost in all the promotional whatever. He's the star at this point. 3 was such a big success that they said, clearly this is our franchise, this guy, this character.
Yeah, and Rennie was very much so. It was like, we need to make this guy the star. He's James Bond. He's the Tom Cruise of this whole thing. Make him the star. Make him the poster child for everything.
And I find it interesting that, however far we are into the movie right now, there's still
Probably 10 minutes or so.
Okay, and we still haven't seen him.
We know what we know forethought towards the plot of it, why. But
Sure.
They're not just jumping right into it. They're giving a little bit of a build-up.
So all they've ever done here is shown that she can pull people into their dream.
Oh, and that's a fantastic shot.
That is a great shot. But again, there is no threat. They don't...
She's being billed as the threat here.
I suppose.
Because Kincaid and everything saying, stop poking the bear.
Okay.
Basically, that's what he's kind of saying. If you keep rattling the cage, something bad's going to happen. Stop doing it.
Sure. But why have that mentality if you know that you killed him in the last film? You know what I mean? Like, it's over. So
exactly, because again, it doesn't follow the character logic from the previous film. This is doing whatever, rewriting the character of Kristen to fit whatever story they want to tell.
Right.
To bring back Freddy. Well, you got to put in contrivance in the script to bring him back, which is what they do in this franchise.
And actually, it does get kind of supernatural here with the Alice character.
Yes.
In that she starts inheriting traits.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Which is a fantastic idea. I like that because...
Well, I kind of do, but...
In and of itself.
I feel like I would like it better if it were a character development and not a...
It'd be better, yeah.
Like... hey, I remember my friend used to do this. I'm going to do that in her honor, as opposed to the beam of light coming into me and me becoming her.
Yeah. Well, in terms of because they set up in the previous film that Freddy absorbs the souls of his victims, so at least follows along that logic that she's taking the power that he's trying to absorb from his victims. So.
Because here
it's an interesting twist on the concept.
She's very, weak. Not weak,
she's
but
frumpy.
She's submissive.
Yeah, she's very timid, internalized type of character.
And she has these daydreams of...
She wants to do all these, lash out and do all these things she really wants to, but she doesn't have the confidence.
Correct.
And she's a fantastic actress.
Agreed. And quite pretty.
Yeah, and
I mean, they make her frumpy here,
yeah.
and by the end of the film, she's, pretty hot, but...
But I guess even in the script, they kind of wrote as like, in the right context, she would look very beautiful.
Sure.
So... But she doesn't allow that to come out in herself, so it's a nice progression in that
there
way.
are in that sense there is a good development of her character.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that
she has something in her. She doesn't have, like I said, the confidence to pull it out of her.
I wish there wasn't the supernatural element to her coming of age, so to speak.
It would strengthen her character internally. Yeah.
He got up. Hills Have Eyes poster up there on the wall.
A little nod to Wes.
So yeah, that's cool. I always like looking at the old set decorations.
Yeah.
Was that the Fat Boys?
I think it's the Fat Boys.
I love the Fat Boys.
If
y'all don't know the Fat Boys, look up the Fat Boys from the 80s and a great comedy called Disorderlies that they starred in.
I don't think they contributed to the next film's soundtrack. This one had a lot of pop and rock people. Vinnie Vincent, Invasion,
sure.
The Vinyls, Sinead O'Connor. It's good songs.
Yeah,
not as good as Dokken, but it's a good selection of tracks.
Well, they capitalized on the MTV.
Yeah,
MTV probably peaked in 1988.
Yeah.
And they said, we have the video age. We've got
a fresh, hot director who really wants to energize the franchise.
And a hot video from the previous film.
Yeah.
So they know that this MTV works as a marketing tool.
Yeah. And I think it was the Vinnie Vincent Invasion one. Love Kills was the main video for this one.
Back in the junkyard.
Mm-hmm. Piss and fire soon.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. So, you gotta, digging up bones here.
Here we go.
Well, how do you bring Freddy back if you're not sure? Well, piss on him.
Piss on him.
So here, this is obviously a rushed judgment. There's some bones in there.
There you go.
And now they're gonna fuse back together here. So yeah, I don't know. It seems
it's
thin.
It's a quick contrivance.
It's thin, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of a cool effect. The reverse melting.
Yeah, reverse photography and everything. I mean, a little bit Evil Dead-ish.
But I feel like it's
much
already advanced.
better than the stuff in Evil Dead, which is a lot more stop motion.
Right. Or even at the end of 3, where it really felt projection screen and goofy.
Yeah.
That just in the year they've come a long way.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Screaming Mad George.
Or they possibly also some extra budget they threw at this.
Yeah, this
is about $13 million. I don't recall the previous film's budget. Probably
I think it was 11. More. Was it?
Possibly.
Somewhere in there?
Possibly.
Oh, suddenly he has the glove on. And here we're going to get the beginning of Catchphrase Freddy.
Yes.
Which he lives in that world going forward.
Yeah, because, the last film had maybe one or two, but this one just...
Great silhouette.
Like a Schwarzenegger film, just bombarding you with them. But yeah, that's a fantastic shot.
This is maybe the best shot of the film so far.
Yeah,
And I guess, again, it's him.
Yeah. What I give definitely to Rennie Harlin is that he is a great visual director with a lot of especially his early films. He just captures very cinematic images, very vibrant stuff. Look at all the movement he's putting into this thing with the city cam shots and everything, push-ins. A little more higher contrast lighting.
It gives you a paranoid feel.
More atmosphere, yeah.
God, he's scary and good.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. He's the perfect villain.
Oh.
I like the light right on his eye.
Yeah, I was going to say. Nice staging.
Ooh.
Oh, nice little collapsible dummy there for him.
It's over! Roll credits!
Roll credits.
Yeah! I love Kincaid.
Oh, boy.
I feel like Kincaid's one of the more real characters.
Yeah.
Like, he's the kind of person that you would encounter, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he seems very genuine. You could see him running into him in high school and everything.
Yeah.
Know that this guy's kind of the big charismatic guy. He's kind of throwing his weight around in school and everything.
Right.
But he's kind of a fun dude. He's the life
Class
of the party.
clown, yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that all of them are now just out of the mental hospital.
Yeah, they're well adjusted now. Everything's fine. They can sleep, no problems. And this is a nice optical with a...
This is a model, and then they pull back to a painting.
Mad painting, yeah. That's pretty fantastic.
And...
Oh.
Goodbye.
20 minutes in, he's gone.
See you in hell is a good line, too, actually.
Yeah. Nice.
So, again, we're carrying on the logic that he's only after this X number of people.
Yeah. Revenge.
Right.
Anything else is gravy for him.
And I didn't like that he didn't have any blood on him.
Yeah,
in the bed. I feel like, they made such a point of showing the blood on her and the blood on the dog that he's not lying in a pool of blood right now.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen in the previous films that the scars end up being real life, shown in real life.
What kind of cola is that? It looked like High C, but
you can't get Coke or something. Come on.
Oh no, I'm sure that they couldn't. White Snake poster up on the wall.
White Snake,
Love
baby.
It. They were white hot in 1987.
In the still of the night. Oh, we know whose room this is.
With an economics book? That's a nice little system there.
Yeah, nice.
Cup of coffee. My friend.
This isn't too dissimilar from Glenn's death scene. He's sitting there with the headphones on, watching stuff.
I wonder if it was a conscious decision to homage. Because, I mean, look at this. I wouldn't doubt it. It's, it's obviously a different scenario.
Yeah.
But Johnny Depp was watching Miss Nude America and listening to headphones.
Yeah.
And watching TV. I don't know.
Not bad. But this is just... Oh, little Billy Idol.
Great tune. Great soundtrack.
Yeah. I love me some Billy Idol, man.
So, I mean, how many people didn't want this to happen?
Oh, hello.
She's gone from the poster. Now she's here. And from what I understand, this was absolutely a nightmare of a shoot.
Oh, I can't doubt it.
Because, similar to the bathtub scene in 1, they've just built this bed on top of a tank.
Yeah.
That you enter from behind the bed or, the next room or whatever.
You probably have to have someone down there with a scuba tank or something. Or, I mean,
Sure.
You can't go up for air.
Well, it was up behind the bed on the other side,
Yeah.
So, and apparently it was Robert and Rennie got into it.
Stunt double did.
Oh, stunt double?
Robert's stunt double did. He started complaining because they were shooting for like 6-7 hours or something like that. He couldn't get the damn thing working. Which I don't doubt.
Again, it's rushed production. They wanted it to look like $1 million. They got it.
Does.
They got it for $750,000. It looks like, So, but late shoots, and they want it to be good. So.
Yeah. And just, again, credit to Rennie Harlin for, with all the stress, and I guess Bob Shea probably being very doubtful about his choice of director, he pulled it through. Everything looks as good as it does because he had the vision for it and kept things moving. Obviously got it done on schedule.
I never understood this whole let's fill up the entire mirror with pictures. But this is a very common thing back in the day.
Yes.
Oh, and there he makes a comment. It's been a minute since I've seen this. I try not to rewatch it just before so that it's more organic. And she had no connection to Kincaid or Joey.
No.
And in fact, it doesn't even look like I don't remember them being even friends at the beginning of the film. I think
No,
that they're friends with Kristen.
Yeah,
and
Kristen's a linking element.
Right. And it isn't until Kristen's demise, I think, that she even becomes the star of the film.
Yeah. But you can kind of see that they're giving her attention. They're developing her character in the background of the film. All this other stuff's happening with our familiar characters. So it's a nice parallel.
Yeah. It's a nice little bonding moment. Bro and sis.
Yeah.
Awesome. 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 Awesome.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, this is a great visual, too.
Yeah, I mean, this is...
I like the overhead
That's not
shot.
an easy shot to get. I mean, how high is that crane over the set?
God, that's good.
Yeah.
I wonder if there were edits made for the MPAA
I wouldn't doubt it.
that where some of these death scenes were extended. Because I know that other franchises and other later films...
because, I mean, again, same year, Friday the 13th Part 7 had like one of the most notorious amount of slashing from the
Right.
MPAA because it was so graphic, so they tamed that film down so much. I wouldn't doubt that they did the same thing here. Now we have our current hero and our
Future?
future hero kind of connecting here.
So, I cannot put Arquette in this scene.
Yeah.
And here...
If Patricia was given the script, she might have argued a bit about it, saying, this is not where my character was.
Sure.
This doesn't feel like my character. I mean, Tuesday's a decent actress, but I don't think she's at the same level of Patricia at
No.
the time.
Oh, God, no.
No.
I mean...
After what we saw, her
In 3?
tearing her soul apart in the previous film.
That might be Billy Idol sitting in the classroom there. There's somebody in the leather and the... Oh, she's concussed?
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden?
Just look at the subtle lighting they put into this whole thing and just like...
Oh, there.
There's Robert in drag.
What a fun little gag that
They
is.
just like doing that type of stuff with Robert.
Well, I don't know if they like doing it. I don't know if it was he that liked it, or
Throw him
if they
in
said...
incognito a little bit is more what I'm kind of saying.
I mean, that's an unfortunate looking school nurse.
Yes.
But you know what? I bet he enjoyed this because it
I'm
meant
sure he
that
did.
he didn't have to do 9 hours of makeup.
9 hours of makeup. Oh, that's
And that's
nice.
a cool effect.
Yeah.
And we're...
And set decoration changes with all the blood on the wall. Really nice. That's kind of nice. I mean, there's a slight
Yeah.
resemblance there, you know?
Sure.
Not to insult her.
Or him. Here's the Crave Inn diner and soda fountain. Obviously, just a blatant homage. Some of them are more blatant than others. That one is very blatant.
Yeah. I don't know if they used...
the Pepsi. I was going to say it was covered up on the one side, but it's not covered up on the sticker. So they're not Greeked. I wonder if...
Mountain Dew and everything there, too.
Pepsi might have had a...
Maybe. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if they used like a different film stock for this, but everything just looks a little... The
brighter?
colors just look stronger than they did in the previous film. Just even in the outdoor shot, just like there's something
It's brighter.
bolder about it.
Wah, wah. I do like lemon meringue pie. And why is there a lobster on that hot dog?
Better than a cockroach on your
I
food.
suppose you're right. You're right. And so now all of these characters are reuniting in the diner? That feels a little contrived.
Look at that old cash register, jeez.
It's wonderful. Old diner, old cash register. Makes sense to me.
There you go. Old retro.
Because, everything's about 30 years behind or so. So in the 80s, everything from the 50s was super cool.
Yeah.
AKA Back to the Future
exactly.
and all that. So 50s diners were all the rage.
Like that's Brian Setzer's whole career.
Right. Yeah,
Going
absolutely.
back 30 years and reviving shit.
Right. He didn't have any songs of his own. All
Yeah.
he did was record 50s hits. Mind over matter. That certainly comes into play here a little bit. He has a lot of bad sweaters.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bad. Look at this. That's 3 bad sweaters.
It looks like a hipster today. He'd be a hipster.
He's got good hair though.
Yeah. It's kind of like David Boreanaz, actually. That hair.
A little bit. A little bit. So, does anybody other than Kristen and now Joey know what the hell's going on? Nobody else is having a bad dream at this point.
No. Freddy's only targeting the people that he has a vengeance factor against, which didn't mean terribly to say that, but I was watching an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Lisa Wilcox shows up in an episode called The Vengeance Factor.
Oh.
which actually aired like a couple months after Dream Child was released.
Okay.
So, and she's like the lead in the episode. She's
here we go.
fantastic again.
That doesn't look like Glenn's house across the way, so...
No.
I mean, a little bit, I guess. Actually, maybe it is.
That's hard. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I almost bet they just built this on an empty lot or something. I can't imagine that's just...
Well, yeah, but all of
they
these...
redressed an existing house for this.
Well, no. This is some kind of set, as far as I know, but... I can't imagine that they would build it. They can't build a neighborhood, so...
Yeah. I'm just saying that it might not be the exact same street. They'd probably just found someplace in LA,
Sure.
suburb with just an empty lot and just build the facade here. And the dead trees and everything.
Well, yeah, because look at that. There's like a building in the back there. That wasn't there in the...
No. It's like
some kind of industrial...
Yeah. Oh, recurring character. Took you long enough to show up in the film. On delay.
Nice taupe business suit.
So they sure as heck write her character exactly the same way.
Yeah, I mean...
Nice to see her back.
We don't see much of her.
No, it's nice to see her back.
Yeah, let's throw her a bone a little bit, just say, hey, how about a little... Just admiring the street artwork.
Now it's gone.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess this is the first time that they've even learned about... But again, this house is sitting
How
in
many
town.
people have died in this series already?
Right, how many... The town, nobody knows about this guy, nobody knows about the house, nobody knows about anything. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Brian Helgeland.
Writing the script while they're shooting it. Off to the side, hey,
What line?
here's the lines, go shoot it in 5 seconds.
Sir, that doesn't make sense. I don't care.
Bob Shea's like, shoot now, shoot now.
Bob Shea.
Money's burning.
Right, Bob Shea might not have even gone to the set. He might have just phoned in and said, is it done? Although, this one feels less rushed than the next one.
Oh, by far. And again, I think it has a lot to do with who you had behind the camera and the volume of effects people you had on this thing. To just get as many people involved to just churn out as much product as you could.
Right.
Behind the scenes and look look at the atmosphere in this shot. It's not even that much of a scene to have that much atmosphere, but you got all this like film noir lighting and the smoke and everything. It's very atmospheric for no real reason, but it puts more value on the screen.
And again, that goes back to Rennie being a visual.
Yeah. That takes time. I mean, they could just like set a couple lights real quickly and just shot something, but whatever the case, up against the gun of time and everything, they still took the time to make it look as good as it could. I mean, again, look at this. Twisting the camera around on a crate and everything. That's
upside down.
That's got to take hours to set up, but it's effective for the scene.
You know, the idea here being that she was just drugged, which might be a felony, and
I would say so.
And you know, obviously, you're spinning out of control. As she's spinning out of control, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant shot.
I mean, look at that. I mean, you go all the way up from probably 15 feet in the air right up to her eye. I mean, that's all one shot. How many takes do they have to do for that?
Knowing our luck, it was one. Like, they did it the first time, and they're like, oh,
I would hope so.
We got it.
I would hope so.
So, this is another interesting scene.
This is a bit of a contentious scene as it goes along.
And here's the return of the little girl. I don't think it's the exact same little girl, but it's the idea of the little girl. And this actually becomes the first time that we see Freddy during the day.
Yeah.
In daylight.
Little Jaws moment here, which, I don't know, it's about the time Jaws Revenge came out.
I love Jaws Revenge. Michael Caine. So now we've got the quicksand. Now, okay, this isn't a bad.
That's all right. I mean, we've seen this type of thing before, but it's just the fact that
we have not seen Freddy in broad daylight, though.
And now they're putting on sunglasses and making him look like a movie star. Just like, I'm sure if Wes was watching this, he was probably cringing at this moment.
I'm sure. I mean, let's go back to the first film and
where
Wes's
they
vision.
barely expose them at all.
And then this scene.
I mean, at least the makeup holds up in the light. Like, let's come with the later films.
There's something hanging from the chandelier. Was that
another upside down set?
Like a baby doll?
Yeah.
Hanging from that chandelier. And yeah, another dreaded rotating room.
Ugh.
This time with no liquids.
Thankfully. We shorten anything out.
And here we've got the descending.
Yes.
Right into the boiler room. And
look at all that color.
There wasn't a lot of boiler room in 3.
No.
There was
more
just
of a kind of
that one set.
hellish cave or whatnot.
Yeah. So, here's where we really start.
Yeah.
He's very vocal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got more dialogue in the scene than she does. Which was a reach out and touch someone, which was the AT&T slow.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they got a payday. Good old AT&T. And again, he only speaks in catchphrases from this point going forward.
It's all MTV. It's all marketing.
I mean, there's another one that is often quoted.
Yes. Smack you across the face. And then she hugs her.
Well, that's the I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Noticeable difference on the glove for this one. Oh, I see.
There we
I
go.
kill you, and so now everybody's fucked.
Yeah, there's the whole thing of absorbing the souls.
And there's another one, the beam of light. Doesn't really do it for me.
There's that.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's just... It's a little silly. Greetings from Hell is a great postcard.
Nice if they mass-produce those or something.
I'm trying to remember if that's one of like the photos that she offers at her autograph sessions.
I would love if she did.
She's already prettier. She went to sleep and woke up pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And this house is in the same town.
Look at that fucking house. Jesus Christ.
I mean, we did kind of touch on it on the number 3 commentary about how great of a decorator she was and how much money they had. But this isn't her same bedroom.
Mm-mm.
You know, this isn't the where's the fucking bourbon?
Yes.
Or whatever it is. Bedroom. Remember that had the black wallpaper? Oh, here's Nancy and Donald Thompson with Kincaid and Kristen all in the same cemetery, directly next to each other.
Within 5 square feet of each other. Headstone, one of those were real headstones, or are they just carved out of styrofoam?
I'm sure that they just placed them there. You know, they're probably styrofoam.
I hope so, because otherwise it'd be very expensive otherwise.
I'm interested, I guess, would he have died at the end of the... Yeah, I guess he did. He died at the end of the 3rd film, because he did say he crossed over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Freddy stabbed him.
That's right, with the big... What do you think? Some bad wallpaper.
Nah.
The era of home movies has kind of gone away. I mean, we're in such a digital age now.
It just doesn't kind of doesn't matter anymore.
And there's like, you know, Facebook Live
or
something that you can go back and watch.
Yeah.
And everything's digital photos, and like it really meant something to shoot a home video in the 80s and be able to go back and watch it.
It was a special occasion. Now it's just like every 5 seconds.
Right. I mean, she's starting to get her... We're probably at the midpoint of the film.
Yeah,
She's become the main character.
Yeah. Her strength is starting to stir up in her.
And they put some makeup on her.
Yeah. She doesn't have all the wet hair either. A little more groomed. So, I mean, just a little subtle building. And later on, her hair color even changes, too.
Yeah.
So it's like...
The old dial TV. I mean, her hair's lighter here, I feel like. Nah, maybe not. Maybe it was the lighting. In the shot.
Yeah, because it actually gets like blonde. Right now it's kind of auburn or whatnot.
Right. What in the world is that gimmick?
Rand Pelcher invention
right,
from
yeah.
Gremlins.
Now she's smoking?
Yeah. And she's like, wait a second, what the hell?
Where would she get the cigarettes?
Yeah.
Like
maybe her brother.
Like maybe the trait may have gone into her, but you know, that didn't beam cigarettes, a pack of Winstons into her pocket.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen anyone else in her family smoking. I don't know.
Go for it.
Go for it. This tagline for Rocky V. He looks so much like David Boreanaz, especially with that trench coat. It's right out of Angel.
That looks fun. It's a neat little visual.
Nice little animation there.
I've never actually paused it to read the math problem.
I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what the hell it is anyway.
I was pretty good at math back in the day.
Learning is fun with Freddy.
There are 2 sequences of sketches. Go back. I was reading. Obviously, for commentary purposes, we can't do a pause.
No. Dripping blood from the pen. Nice.
Is it, though? Is it nice? It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, but that's what Freddy would do. Why is she smearing the blood now? What?
Well, she's dreaming, so... Yeah. And this robotic arm thing, it's like... I guess this is a manifestation of her little sound wave handheld device.
I guess.
You know,
I
like,
don't know. That's bizarre.
And the weird, like robot music.
It's like except for Buck Rogers or something. Nice pattern on the floor, kind of using some geometry in the photography.
And here's the first time we've seen Freddy use his knives for something practical.
Practical.
Which is kind of fun.
That's probably why you created him in the first place. Just, I love apples, man.
I'm pretty sure that the original knife was a tomato knife, because that was a thing back in the 80s. It was real thin, it was angled, and it was manufactured by the Case Company, which only makes like switchblades now. But they were real big in like, you know, sets of cutlery, like home kitchen cutlery back in the 80s. They might still manufacture kitchen cutlery, but I know that they do like pocket knives and whatever. The Case Company, they're still around. But they made, that was the original like set of steak knives.
Or tongue.
That they found to make the original prop.
There we go. This is an interesting idea.
Yeah, just sucking the life right up.
Out of you.
Literally. That's a... Ugh. You flunk. You know, I don't remember that being a line.
That ain't not quite as witty.
That's not... You flunk. I kind of like that. I guess I was so... Oh, there she's got traits of Sheila.
Yeah, she just get mule kicked right into her.
And all of a sudden, she's the crazy one.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that thing was for. At this point, wouldn't they just call an ambulance and not assume that she's just dead? Like, can't you try CPR?
Not for the purposes of the plot, I guess.
What a great look.
I haven't seen her in a while. Brooke. She's been gone for like 10 minutes in the movie or something.
At least 10.
I haven't seen her since the diner scene or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the diner scene was the last. She was out buying Aquanet.
Lots and lots of Aquanet.
I love it. Big hair. I mean, he's got good hair too.
Yeah.
I said that before.
Nice amount of product.
It's a good spike.
Yeah.
A good 80s spike. Everyone looked, you know, terrible down south with the sweaters, but great hair game in the 80s. I mean, even Dan's rocking a good coif.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's the good-looking guy in school.
Did they ever say what sport it is he plays? Is it football?
I don't know. Nice 9-volt in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a big old with duct tape or electrical tape. She made this. I always think pictures are a fun, interesting thing. Like when they cast these people in a film, they say, "I need some baby pictures of you, so that we can spread them around the set." Unless your last name is Culkin, in which case we have 4 or 5 other Culkins we can put current pictures of. I like this set a lot.
It's nice.
Like, I would hang out here every day. No checks, no exceptions. A burger and fries for $2.25? Hot damn.
Damn.
Bring on the 80s. I wasn't saying hot damn to Dan. I was saying hot damn to the burger and fries for $2.25. They still have those little boxes of cereal, too.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
For, kids or whoever. What is it? Giant cookie, 50 cents. Fudge brownie, 75 cents. What's a coffee? 50 cents for a cup of coffee.
Oh, boy. You
I'm sold.
just have stacks and gallons of coffee.
Well, probably free refills, too, on a cup of coffee, isn't it?
Oh.
A little juicy fruit action there. That's a great question, Dan. One that all the audience members are also asking. The Craven. See, okay. Now we need a conduit.
Yeah.
I just... Why can't he just be a scary guy? It might be Dee Schneider working a busboy back there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's one of those things, like every film, they feel like they have to add something more into the mythology or the mechanics of how the dream world functions. Like, don't really need to.
Just tell me a story.
Yeah, you don't need to because if you keep doing that with every film, as we'll probably see later on, it just...
You run out
complicates, of... What was the word I'm looking for? It overworks the story,
right,
and makes it harder to tell more
muddied
stories.
Storylines.
You keep adding more stuff into it, becomes so convoluted, you can't really function in the world anymore, or you have to write something that's completely contradictory in order to tell a story.
And this happens with other franchises as well.
Yeah.
Once you get past probably part 3 in anything
that has like a lot of fantastical concepts.
Right.
Not so much like an action film.
Well, no, I mean as far as horror.
If you do
right,
like horror films with these types of characters, stuff like that, yeah, you're gonna junk up the concepts.
And then you have to start adding in backstory and
yeah,
flash forwards
which they don't do any backstory in this film, but definitely in the next film they get into it.
Oh, there he is.
Bob Shea.
There's Bob. Big Bobby.
Probably looking as tired as he was producing this film.
And look at that. They put him in a nice suit. There's no bondage.
Nice. No leather except for maybe his belt. That's all he needs.
Good old Bob. And we're back on this Dream Master theory. This whole take control, you're in charge. Anybody who's listening to this...
Yeah.
And I'm sure you and I,
like,
you don't know your dream. Like, there isn't, like, once you say I'm dreaming, like, it doesn't happen.
Not
you just don't
terribly
know.
Much, no.
I have had dreams though where I woke up in the dream and was still dreaming. So, like, it was very bizarre. Excuse me. Where, for instance, if I was taking a nap on the couch, in the dream I got up from the couch and did stuff around the house, and then woke up again, and I was, like, for real, and I was still on the couch, and it was very bizarre.
Nice mirror gag here.
And just some mud to indicate burning? Is that what that was? Because they ran out of budget?
Yeah, probably. Quick and dirty. It's going to be on screen for a few seconds.
The elevator from hell? That's kind of a...
Because apparently, in this sequence, the entire bottom of the elevator was supposed to completely open up. He was supposed to drop in this black abyss. But they ran out of budget to actually do it, and that's why we get the next sequence.
Which is the worst...
the shadow karate bit.
This is the worst sequence, I think, in
the
in the franchise.
Oh.
Yet they spent $1 billion dressing this set to look like a Chinese restaurant.
I don't know how you run out of budget, but you still have enough to go out and buy a bunch of drapes and a whole bunch of like set dressings and everything. I don't know.
Was this like stuff that this kid just had maybe in his house, and they said, "Hey, what do you like to do?" "Oh, I do karate." "You got any shit laid around? Bring it in."
And apparently the actor here, he spent like weeks kind of putting
Learning?
together like a real martial arts type of sequence here, and they said no, just throw a couple punches and stuff like that and random crap.
We're gonna
that
have
took no choreography whatsoever.
we don't even have Freddy in this scene.
No.
Like, it's one thing if Freddy was the ultimate karate master,
Yeah.
and because he's
Yeah.
the dream guru.
If they choreograph something where they're actually physically in the scene together.
Right.
It'd be kind of
this
interesting.
is so ridiculous. It's not even fun. I mean,
it's just, I mean, come on.
Yeah, some very visual differences in the glove. It's got that weird like silver squigglies on the knuckle.
Huh.
They've really updated. I don't know if it's supposed to be more ornate, or worn, but in the original film, you know, it's pretty much just bronze and leather.
Yeah.
And here they've added this little,
little nuances.
accoutrement,
Yeah.
as they say, and. Let's bury her right next to everybody else.
Yeah.
Yet this still isn't national news. There's been
No.
how many people in this town that have died?
I wonder if they just kept shooting in the same cemeteries in every film.
Well, there are lots of cemeteries in LA.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
And I don't remember if it's an interesting little gag, you know.
Yeah, just afraid to fuck with her anymore.
But I don't know which cemetery they used in the first film, but this one doesn't look like the same one.
Yeah.
I don't know. At this point, you know, even with the increased budget, they could have driven down the coast, you know,
Yeah.
to some tax break town.
Yeah, something, you know.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
You never know where anything is.
Yeah.
Yet somehow, in today's age, everybody finds everything. God bless the internet. Thank you, internet, for having us on right now.
Thank you.
Tucked in with no belt. God, that really drives me nuts.
He's wearing jeans at a
Well-
funeral.
I'm actually more okay with denim than I am the fact that he's tucked in with no belt.
Yeah.
That is just one of the things that pushes my buttons.
It's some kind of European style, I think.
Yeah, Rennie dressed him.
Renny dressed him. Well, Renny ran around like suspenders and everything.
Sure. That dude's like, he's like you tall. He's like 6'6" or something.
Yeah, something. Look at the depth of field on this. Jeez, shooting through all the sprinklers and everything. It's just, isn't there an interesting visual?
And now she's just like collecting tokens
Yeah.
and attributes, and her hair's getting lighter and less strawberry blonde. Yeah, haven't you been paying attention?
Yeah.
That's how this film works, Brooke.
Well, she keeps disappearing for 5 scenes at a time. She ain't involved.
You're right. And she actually ends up with the ultimate mind over matter death in a few minutes here.
Oh, that is the creepiest one in the whole franchise for me.
You know.
Oh. It's the reason why I can't watch Cronenberg's The Fly.
I love that film.
It would just squirm the crap out of me.
I love it. The Fly is wonderful. We can dissect the cockroach scene here in a little bit when it comes up.
Yeah.
Here's her little tokens of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And look at that. All your friends die and your pictures come down, you can see yourself.
Oh, here comes the infamous bad wig from behind scene.
Oh, right. Stunt double.
Yeah. Because I guess when she went for training for this stuff, she kept being afraid they're just going to knock herself in the head with it.
Like, that's a bad wig from
Yeah.
behind. That's a gray. There's gray in that wig.
Yeah. Nice dramarama track here. It's cool.
I mean, whoever that...
She's all Michelangelo now.
Whoever she was good.
Yeah. If it was a she.
Yeah, it might not have been. Very interesting wallpaper border on this with a little like schoolhouse or something. What is that?
That's unusual.
I mean, the borders were hot in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah. You just keep floating through the scene. That's nice.
Oh, yeah. Drunk parent knows what's going on.
Another drunk parent.
Always knows best. Drunk parent knows best. That's the...
Still got nothing on Marge, though.
That's the hashtag of this whole series, I think, is...
First Marge, then Don Thompson.
Yeah, there wasn't a drunk
In 3.
in 2.
No one in 2. Including
But at this point, we've pretended 2
Yeah.
doesn't exist in
Yeah.
the story, so... And I believe this is the beginning of...
The time loop thing.
The time loop, which Robert Englund has claimed on multiple occasions is one of his favorite gags from the whole franchise.
It's inventive for Freddy.
Yeah, I mean... And this is actually one of the most indicative, or things that's realistic as far as the real-life dreams go.
Yeah, non-linear
Sure.
stuff.
You know, you end up kind of back at where you started.
Yeah.
For no reason. Oh, we're going here. Okay.
Yes, we are. Yeah, because she gets in trouble, then that sparks off the time loop thing. Yeah,
I see.
Because they're racing to try to help save her. Sinead O'Connor track.
Yeah. What is she wearing? Good Christ.
That's not very attractive. Still in the frumpy phase.
I guess. That's a terrible dress. Looks like pajamas. She's wearing a pajama dress.
I think that was her stunt double. It still looked like the same bad wig before when she was climbing down.
And I believe that's the running around the diner is the visual that is repeated, yeah?
Trying to remember.
Oh, here's the Bernstein theme.
Oh, nice.
For the first time in...
Reefer Madness.
For the first time in a while, there's some twinkle lights out there.
Yeah.
I can spot those a mile away. What else we got? Prison.
Hairspray.
Hairspray's a fun movie. This is... Being a theater guy, this is one of the coolest things like in the whole series for me.
Yeah.
And once again, Pepsi on the cups.
Yeah.
So they must have had a sponsor.
They must have, yeah. I figure, I mean, again, with the success of the franchise at this point and the money they're getting and all this type of stuff, they definitely started getting someone trying to throw some money into it for product placement and everything.
I don't know what this film is. I'm not as well versed on...
I half imagine some public domain thing or
because this isn't... That's not Reefer Madness.
No. Some public domain thing, and then they just cut into the new footage, which seems...
Is brilliant.
Far more sharp than the other stuff.
And they decorated the Crave Inn. Hot. Did her eye color change?
Maybe.
I think it did.
Maybe.
With one of the...
I think it might have been brown before. Is it blue now?
Yeah, they're like a bluish.
Maybe.
This is just so fantastic.
Old Wizard of Oz and everything. But look at this. I mean, the slow motion work. It's very cinematic.
I mean, really, really high production value.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this wasn't one of the scenes that they filmed at the beginning when they had a lot of money.
Possibly, yeah.
And then as the budget ran out, you end up with the kickboxing.
Yeah.
You get a little, Purple Rose of Cairo here into the...
And this is a good effect here. I mean, right about here.
Right into the film. So creepy. So wonderful. All the dead kids applauding from the audience. Just super.
Little front projection there. And our first real confrontation with Freddy coming up.
And I like that they've destroyed this diner.
Yeah. Again, production values just going all the way out here.
Which this would have probably been done at the end of the film.
Yeah,
after
after they
used
shot
it.
all the other scenes in here and they just trash it up. You probably think it's easy to just trash a set, but I mean, probably very meticulous work went into this.
And that's her.
Yeah.
With some bad makeup.
Definitely shows through in HD. As being a bit less than fantastic.
There's another catchphrase. And look at how...
Soul food.
Look at how bright his sweater is. I mean...
Ugh.
It really looks like he just bought this thing at the Kmart yesterday.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yummy.
So
Brussels
gross.
sprouts? Is that what that is? I don't know. And why do we need... Why? Why can't you just go get them like you did everybody else?
Yeah. It's just Freddy's ego getting in the way, you know?
I guess it's...
Because he's looking to taunt him, because again, he's putting him into... Planning to put him in the time loop thing, so he's just taunting.
And why did he need her to pull her into this? There's the second time we've run around.
Yeah.
He doesn't really seem to have been on her side, other than just literally physically next to her.
Yeah,
I don't feel like there's any emotional.
He's not terribly present in the film.
No, they didn't write his character to be a good boyfriend.
To be much of any of a character. He's just there to be there.
Yeah, he doesn't have a personality. He doesn't have anything.
Probably because he's going to survive the film, so we don't need to build up any empathy for this guy. He's just inconsequential. But that's something that on the other side of that they do take the time to develop these characters. They give you some empathy, and they're charismatic, they're enjoyable, likable people. You care about these characters as it goes along. So despite how much problems I had getting a complete script and everything,
they were onto something.
They got again, like the previous film, they casted things very well and wrote decent enough characters where you can just get that kind of enjoyment and connection with them. And this is gross as hell.
This is a very memorable.
Absolutely.
Probably the most memorable from this film.
Oh, by and far. Again,
The broken arm.
The quality of the effects people they had on this thing.
Well, this is all Screaming Mad George on this scene.
Oh, jeez.
The prosthetic floppy arms.
Oh.
The cockroach. It's just wonderful.
Oh.
It's just wonderful.
I'm imagining having this nightmare.
Oh, I can't.
Freak the fuck out.
And then they build this roach motel.
Oh. Oh.
I know. I can't even imagine. Up.
There we go again.
Third time's a charm.
And then she starts to catch on with it. I think it's...
On the next one?
I think maybe on the next one. No.
Oh.
He's
he does it, not her. So she's become a cockroach.
It's gonna
wonderful.
get worse. It's gonna get worse.
I remember from the documentary
paper.
I used to watch as a kid, this scene was kind of detailed, and she lands in this sticky goo, which is essentially a thickener for, like, jelly donuts.
Oh.
And they have the prosthetic face, and the face just kind of comes off. So it's like 3 levels of makeup here.
Oh.
You know, she's her face, and then the cockroach head, and then the prosthetic of that over the top, so that it just comes off with the sticky stuff. There's a name for that sticky stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it's called. Yeah. But that was all Screaming Mad George, and he just had his heyday.
Oh, this.
So she's become the cockroach. There's
Her
parts
legs
of her.
still sticking out the bottom. And then
they did a close-up of Robert's eye.
Yeah.
And just shot it on a projection screen.
And
Squishy.
Yeah. And boom.
She got mule kicked again.
Yep.
And that's, to me, the weakest aspect. Here we go. What an awesome shot that is.
If you looked at the back, you could see the chain hanging off the back fender.
No. I love that kind of stuff. So I wonder how they did the... I don't remember seeing anything ever of how they...
Did the front end crash?
The front end crash, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
But I guarantee you that both of them would have been slightly more injured than this.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Look at all that lighting. Clearly showing you're still not in the real world.
Yeah, it is. It's very...
Very stylized.
That's a good word for it. I don't know how many ambulances you've been in that had neon green lighting.
Look how much more aggressive she's gotten.
Yeah, it's almost... She's now taken on what Kristen was at the end of the third film.
Yeah.
What Kristen should have been this entire film.
Yeah.
A good mustache on that. Orderly. This actually almost feels like the hospital from the previous film.
Yeah.
Even though...
A little bit.
That was more of a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah. It's highly possible that they use the same location.
Could be. I know they just took any old building and stuck an admitting sign on the front to make it a hospital.
Oh, yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. I love that. Anything can be anything else in a movie.
Yeah. I'm just observing the pacing this film is getting on. I mean, like, they've crammed so much in this thing, but it still feels pretty coherent.
Yeah.
Pretty coherent. Follows its own narrative logic and keeps moving forward. Doesn't feel like it's uneven or clunky or whatnot.
It doesn't feel clunky. It just, to me,
the logic is a little off. The storytelling's a little contrived here and there, but I think just the pacing is very consistent. It keeps building up further and further, and just impressive how much they're putting into the film.
To me, it feels like it's never quite enough.
Never quite enough.
You know what I mean? It's here's a good idea, and, it almost feels like second draft. It's not as bad as, like, let's just barf up some stuff and shoot it. It's
not
we
like
barfed up
number
some stuff.
2 where everything's just kind of very loose, off the cuff concepts.
That was first draft. This feels more like we barfed it up. We had some good ideas. We refined it.
We're starting to get the roots of everything, starting to get them to connect, but it's not all the way there yet.
Right, and if they only had just a little bit more time and money, this could have been a great film.
Yeah. This is a nice montage here.
And I don't hate it. Like,
no.
I think it's an enjoyable film so far.
And I view this as a very entertaining sort of fantasy type of film in a certain way, because there's creepy elements, but there's not like suspense and tension building up and stuff like you'd have like the first film.
No, and
this is a rock and roll film.
It's definitely night and day from the number 3.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of this one takes place in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Daydreaming, so to speak.
Yeah.
And, it's very... I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It's not as dark. It's not scary.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be, kind of a edge of your seat.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to watch this alone at night.
Yeah.
By myself.
This is a fist pumping,
right,
hot summer movie type of thing.
Absolutely.
This is get people kind of excited, energetic. You got a lot of action going on.
Right. It's almost like they wanted the audience to like yell catchphrases and cheer everybody
Stand
on.
Up and shout.
Right.
I think that's why this is the most successful film up to Freddy vs. Jason, but of all the actual standalone films, was the most successful because it is the most entertaining, crowd-pleasing. If you don't like horror films, you can still get into this thing and enjoy it for the flashiness.
Well, it's not very gory.
No, not terribly gory. Creepy in moments, but it's got charisma, it's got energy, it's got some action, it's got flashiness. It's very MTV. Everything is exactly what it needs to be as successful as it possibly can be for a mainstream film. People probably went to see this. They see all these flashy visuals and everything, all these fantastical set pieces. It has so much going on to just kind of engage you with the visuals and the concepts that if you're not following the story so much, there's so much to just absorb into the film and all the soundtrack stuff.
And I feel like they definitely marketed and skewed younger here.
Yeah.
The first film, and to some degree the third film, was an adult film. Not X-rated adult, but you know what I mean?
Mature horror film.
And this one, they said, hey, are you 13? Do you like Freddy?
Yeah.
Come see our movie with
Sneak in the theater.
Right.
Bring your older sibling. They'll get you in.
There was more blood there than there was Ken Sagoes at the beginning getting stabbed. That was just a miss, I think, on their part. Maybe they ran out of time.
Couldn't find the pint of Caro syrup.
Sure. Is that Michael Keaton?
See, the one guy they save in the film is the one guy you don't give a crap about.
Oh, we're back to the nursery rhyme.
I was wondering if it showed up any time in the film.
And that's a creepy visual. That's good.
Oh, look at that. That's slow motion, wind blowing through her hair. That's nice and cinematic, heroic shot.
Another famous catchphrase, one-liner, welcome to Wonderland.
Or if they actually named her Alice just to get that line in the film.
Oh, God, I hope not. Brian Helgeland, tell me it isn't so.
Look at this. Flipping and flopping all over the place.
Well, yeah. And you mean to tell me she's going to fare better than her brother did? At least she could see him.
Yeah.
Impervious to pain.
Yeah.
The look of surprise on his face is hilarious. Because he's so cocky and he's so...
Yeah, I mean, look at him go. Using the scenery and everything.
I mean, I feel like this is Robert Englund.
Oh, yeah.
Having the most fun he could possibly have.
Yeah. I guess going into the film, he was kind of worn out and everything, but at a certain point, he just kind of got a second wind and just, like, rode the crest of a wave throughout the rest of the production. And again, look at the production value here. I mean, that's a lot of set dressing. A lot of lighting going on throughout this whole thing.
The stained glass is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I forgot that he starts calling everybody bitch.
Bitch.
Like that becomes his go-to slur. But man, he looks good.
Yeah. One thing I when I did my retrospective of the franchise review and everything is, I said that I thought Alice was kind of like the ultimate protagonist of the franchise, and some people kind of called me out a little bit criticizing that comment. My thing was mainly because she's the most powerful adversary Freddy ever has to go up against, so she has so much power, can defeat him on such a higher level than anyone else could before. And plus,
that's a good visual.
And plus, after we get through the next film, we obviously see she beats him twice and still survives to talk about, which no one else in the entire franchise ever really does. So I kind of wanted to clear up that thought for people if anyone ever watched that retrospective of mine.
For the why behind the comment?
Why, yeah, because Nancy's a fantastic character and I love her. I just think that Alice kind of goes to more of almost a mythical stature with how much power she has and what she's able to do against a even more powerful Freddy on her own. Because even the last film, it was a group effort to defeat him. This, it's all up to her.
Well, and again, they're different stories, because in the first film, her power was turning her back on him.
Yeah.
Now this is an elaborate shot.
Yeah. That was not easy to do.
This is, definitely, this is a physical fight, whereas the first film was a mental fight.
Yeah. With a little bit of metaphysical thrown in there.
Right. So this end scene here was one that that I had when I was a kid.
Uh-huh.
This is like a 9-foot giant torso that they built, and then these little puppet arms coming through, and they've actually got like full-sized human beings
pushing through the
latex. One of them is Scream Queen B horror gal Linnea Quigley.
Yeah,
is one of these. So these are all like Kevin Yeager puppets that are on, almost like push-ups.
Yeah.
That, they're on a little
hydraulic or something.
Yeah, but it's mechanical, hand pumped.
Yeah.
So one of these ladies is Linnea Quigley. I don't know which one.
Again,
maybe that one. I recognize those breasts.
Yeah. I mean, just the effects of this thing are just fantastic. And they got pretty much the best in the business at the time working on this thing at his shows.
And the souls just rip him apart. And there they go. Look at all those souls. Yeah. R.I.P.
Bye-bye. For now.
Well, all it took was some dog piss to wake him up this time, so I imagine that, I don't know what it's going to take on the next one. I mean, I do, because I've seen it. But
So it's a nice climax. You get some stunt work, some wire work, and then some effects stuff thrown at the end.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but it looks nice.
No. Like, it's visually satisfying.
Sure. Which, again, the theme here, Rennie Harlin.
The visualist.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job. I might need to go home and watch Mystic River just to satiate, to make myself happy again. What a set, though. You're right.
Nice epic grace note there.
And here we have our...
little coda.
Coda. That's the word I was looking for. I knew there was a word.
You know, I slept through all last night, man. I haven't done that day.
I'm still having trouble.
I find it fascinating that he lived through this film.
Well, like I said, he's
like
the least developed character, so they really don't give much of a shit about him.
No. He's just a big dummy. Big dumb jock.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
One of our best outfits in the film.
Yeah.
Very nice. Nice.
Little reflection.
You always gotta keep the idea alive.
What'd you wish for?
And again, it leaves the audience with that little bit of chill,
Well, I don't know if
Keep
it was
them
so
hooked in
much
a
of a
little bit.
chill.
Just
This one, it was more of a
little bit of a buzz. Just kind of like,
yeah. I don't
keep you anticipating for more.
I was gonna say, all that does is make everybody go, yeah, give me the next one.
Yeah.
Good pop music going
Yeah.
on here. Do you think that couple right there that's walking knew that they were being in a movie?
I don't know. Well, there's a big crane here, so I mean,
I guess, but those
gotta
aren't
be.
extras. That's just an old couple walking through the park.
Who knows?
Linnea Quigley, sold from Freddy's chest.
There you
is
go.
Officially.
Throw in the credits.
Nice little fountain.
Yeah.
Nice big fountain. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, definitely that teen, and it worked
It
because
worked.
they came out in droves. This movie made like tens of millions of dollars, and you're gonna pull it up.
49.3 million off of a $13 million budget.
Okay, so that actually made it the most successful as
Yeah.
far as financial success.
Highest grossing.
So yeah, and I mean obviously, I don't know what it is adjusted for inflation,
Yeah.
which is a part of the
Oh.
reason why Freddy vs. Jason ended up with a higher dollars because
Yeah,
it ended
inflation,
up
more.
double, triple ticket price. But,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, 40 or 50 million bucks
For a horror film.
in 1988.
In quotes, horror film of sorts.
Sure, I mean, holy cow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you keep making more?
Yeah. And this is time where, like, Friday the 13th box office is kind of on the downward spiral.
If I said to you, I'll hand you $10 or you hand me $10 and I'll hand you $100.
Or shit, yeah.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
And why wouldn't we keep doing? And then okay, so tomorrow you hand me $10 and I hand you $60
Yeah.
for the next film. You'd still keep doing it until we broke even.
Exactly.
Like, it completely makes sense that they would do, sequels to run into the ground.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't. Bob Shaye's dick had to be hard for 2 months after he saw the results of this thing.
And plus, I mean, still undoubtedly their biggest money maker for the studio.
For sure.
So, I mean, why not?
Right, up until Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
If that puts anything into perspective.
Yeah. I don't know as much there is to say.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, they left. They stuck that thing at the end there so that. Oh, is this? Oh, I thought maybe we were gonna get the Fat Boys.
No, I think that's the next film.
Is it the next film? Okay.
I think so.
The Fat Boys were fun. The they set up the little cliffhanger there,
Yeah.
or the tease, if you will. But they haven't at this point in. If you take yourself back to 1988,
Yeah.
they haven't been very good about recurring characters.
Yeah.
So even if you know Freddy's coming back,
Yeah, I have
you
no
don't know
idea
if anybody
who else
else
is coming, yeah.
But you know Freddy's coming.
Yeah.
So guess what? I'm already in line.
Yeah. Yeah.
I take my money, please.
Yeah.
Like give me
and
more.
that again, that's what Rennie's perspective was. Market around Freddy. It's the only thing you really have to do. Make him the star. Make him as visual as possible, and slap him on.
And
everything.
it totally worked.
Yeah.
Like Rennie Harlin is one of
They
the
merchandise the shit out of it.
unsung heroes, in my opinion, of this franchise.
Yeah.
You've got Wes, obviously.
Yeah.
As far as behind the scenes people,
Yeah.
you've got Wes, who's the creator. Mm-hmm. In some ways, the screenwriter team from 3 that brought back the integrity.
Yeah.
And then, Rennie Harlin, who says, basically,
Lightning in a bottle.
right, fuck the rules.
Yeah.
Let's just go have fun.
Yeah.
And make some money. And it
Yeah.
totally worked. It totally worked. So,
From there on, things go in a different direction of quality and everything.
Yeah, and it's
but
interesting.
We'll get there.
We didn't actually talk about the mythology, really. They kind of created their own mythology. So, again, you go into the next sequel and you say, well, what do I have to do to carry the story along?
Yeah.
Because obviously this whole take a piece of everybody and be in charge, mind over matter,
Yeah.
that we've done
Yeah.
that.
What else can you do next? And
Right,
they take
so-
some contentious turns with Dream Child.
Right, so the next one, and I don't have a release date off the top of my head, but I'm guessing it was August of '89.
Yeah, pretty sure.
They say, "Are you ready for Freddy?" performed by the Fat Boys.
Oh, it was in there.
Yeah, somewhere. So it had to have been a Fat Boys poster on Kincaid's wall. What do we do next? Well, I guess we're gonna
Yeah.
go and you pull up the release date.
So Dream Master was released on August 19th, 1988. Next film was August 11th, 1989.
Okay, so it was 51 weeks
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the great detriment of everything.
Which we'll get into when
we get there.
when we do that one. But you can tell at that point that they've run out of. You can't go forward anymore, so let's go backward.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into, but that's it for the Dream Master. So thanks, guys, for listening. We'll be back with Dream Child in due time.
Thanks for your feedback. Let us know comments, thoughts, suggestions at the end here.
Absolutely. So spread the links around, and we'll be back soon. So thanks for listening, guys. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.